Everybody, my name is Idan Morim and I am a New York-based guitar player. I'm here today to talk about an amazing overdrive pedal from Missing Link Audio. This pedal is called Hotlanta, and Missing Link were kind enough to send it to me because they thought that I would appreciate its tone and dynamic qualities, and they weren't wrong. I usually play a lot of jazz live, but also play in a few indie rock and indie pop projects, and I often kind of like walk the tightrope between modern jazz and rock music. So this thing is especially useful for me because of all the qualities that I'm gonna show you right now. So let's get right into it. I'm playing this Yamaha SA2200 into a Princeton reissue amp. This is my clean tone. So let's turn this pedal on with everything at noon and see what we get. Yeah, so just with everything at noon, just hitting that thing, just putting it on, I really love the combination of how it retains my tone just as it is. Kind of like all the dynamic qualities and the qualities of the amp and the qualities of the guitar. Everything kind of stays. I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything. And at the same time, I'm getting a beautiful drive and still have headroom, but also have bite. It kind of just like really hits all of the marks. Let's play around with it and see what happens. I'm gonna take the gain all the way up. So yeah, on all three of the positions on this guitar, I really feels like it nails everything that it should. The bridge pickup feels like it has tons of bite and scream and yells, and the neck pickup feels driven but still very warm. If I roll down the volume on the guitar, it gives me a really interesting color. It doesn't only dilute the gain, but it also changes the tone qualities in interesting ways. So here's that. This is all the way open at 10. As I roll back the volume on my guitar, let's put it at like 7. If I go even lower, this is a 3. And even with the guitar volume at like 1, 2, you can still get a lot of beautiful tones, where otherwise in other pedals, that register of the volume knob would usually just be like dead zone. Let's explore some other things happening on this pedal. So one thing interesting about the way that this pedal is EQ'd is that it has both a tone knob and a voice knob. Let's see what they both do. So the tone will do what you suspect the tone would do on a pedal. Let's crank it all the way high. So again, unlike a lot of other pedals where if I crank the tone all the way up, I would get something that feels kind of painful and shrill. I love this sound. I usually like to play with my tone pretty dark. So I was surprised when I found out that I could really crank this thing all the way, crank this thing's tone all the way up and still find the sound that I find pleasing to play with. Let's see what happens if we take it down. So let's look into this voice knob here on the left. Let's just kind of figure out what it does. I'm going to take the gain back to noon. So everything at noon, and then I'm just going to play around with the voice knob and see what happens. So at first glance, it seems like it's another type of EQ almost, but it hits different spots. So it feels like the pecans and knolls that it creates are different spots along the spectrum. Let's see how it kind of feels to play it cranked up a little bit. Versus down. Yeah, so this voice knob is like important to me because what I find a lot of times that when I'm trying to create a combination between playing jazz, more jazzy stuff, but wanting drive and wanting bite, a lot of times I don't want that excess high-end frequencies that come along with most overdrive sounds. So this is particularly useful to me. There's another way actually to get there with this pedal, but we'll get into it in a second. But this is really useful to me because whenever I feel like I got the amount of gain that I want and the amount of crunch that I want, but I'm bothered by this extra high-end frequencies, all I have to do is roll this voice thing down about 5 clicks and I'm right there. Where if you play soft enough, it can almost sound clean, but if you lean in a little more, you sound driven. I really like that kind of dynamic freedom. So another interesting thing this pedal has going for it is this switch right here. And it's only numbered 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure what it does technically, electricity-wise. I'm not savvy that way, but what I do know is that it changes the tone in pretty dramatic ways. I would almost call it like a filter switch, but let's see. So this is right now in the middle, which I guess is number 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna keep everything the same and just flick through them playing this open E chord. Yeah, so at first glance to me it seems like the middle position that I was playing in until now is kind of like the most conventional and open, and both of the other positions kind of create a different low pass. Let's look at the upper one. And the bottom one. Just for kicks, let's see what happens if we really push this pedal all the way up. I find that it's an interesting way to kind of like see what pedals are really made of, so to speak, because I find that a really, really good pedal will always give you something interesting and beautiful no matter where the settings are, or at least true to its identity. So what happens if I really crank this thing all the way up? Maybe other than the level, don't want to blow this room up. If you ever needed to cut through a mix, let me tell you something. You can do it now using this pedal, Hotlanta by Missing Link Audio. Absolutely grateful for these guys for sending this over. I love this pedal. It will definitely stay on my pedal board. And there's another one cool feature that I would be remiss not to mention, and it is this other button here. This is called simply Boost, and it's true to its name. I find that other than giving you a little more juice and signal, it also gives you this beautiful high-end bump. Let's hear that. So everything back on noon, knob here, switcher in the center. Here's the sound. And here's the boost. With a little more gain, joined by the boost. Yeah. So, obviously a super useful feature live. If you have the sound you want dialed in, you just need to cut through a little more. This boost function I found really, really useful when I took it out for gigs. So this is the Hotlanta by Missing Link Audio, fantastic overdrive. Check it out, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.